Hello, my name is Keyshawn Moore. Today, this lesson is going to be on intimacy and basic hygiene. That's a big one, fellas. Basic hygiene is the key to intimacy. So, what really is intimacy? I'm going to tell you. This is the definition. The state of being intimate, or the more commonly used definition, a close, familiar, and usually affectionate or loving personal relationship with another person or group. I hope not group. But, intimacy is... it's what keeps people together, honestly. I mean, that's love, pretty much right there. I mean, it's not good, like, to be in a relationship, like, if you're married or something, to not be intimate. I mean, an intimate relationship is an interpersonal relationship that involves physical or emotional intimacy. I mean, before you can be physical, you need to be emotional and mental. I mean, I can't stress that enough. I mean, if you're only in it for the attachment or the sexual activity, then that's not really a relationship. You're just in it. You're pretty much how to put this in good terms? You're just a bad person. Let's just put it that way. So, I mean, like mentally means that you're on the same mental level as them. You feel the same way that they feel about you. You can see things through their eyes. You know what it feels like to be in their shoes. Both of you, if same for the other person. The man knows how it feels to be in a woman's shoes, and the woman knows how it feels to be in the man's shoes. It's just the way that relationships stay together. On the emotional level, you feel the same. When something bad happens, like, say for instance, you get some bad news that your dog is in the hospital because your son ran him over with the car, or your neighbor ran him over with the car. It depends on how you both take it. If your wife takes it back, if you're not in love, if you didn't like the dog, let's say the guy didn't like the dog, but the girl was in love with the dog. The girl's sad. The guy needs to be on the same emotional level that she is, because if she sees that you're on the same emotional level, then it'll show that you care. It'll show her that you care about how she feels and what's in her life. Once you're good with that on the emotional and the mental level, then it would be time for intimate. I'm going to talk to you about the types of intimacy that there are. So, I mean, honestly, intimacy has to be passion if you're really into that person. I mean, I'm not gonna go up to some random person, come here, and just do it to do it. I'm going to do it with somebody that I feel I could see, that I could spend the rest of my life with, that I could relate to, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, because that I would feel that we're connected in every possible way. in a sense, it kind of feel like I'm like doing myself. Yeah. But that's kind of beside the point. You just really need to get on that level to really, fully understand. All right. Let's see how this is looking so far. Oh, I'm also doing this broadcast. My arm just disappeared. But I am doing this broadcast from, as you can see, Maui. And I feel that this is actually pretty good, I'm liking the trees and the sunset behind me. I think it's going to get dark soon. I'm just loving the water. I mean, that whoosh sound is just amazing. But, I mean, every time I lean, like, forward like that, you can see through my body. Watch out. But, anyway. Alright. I'm going to get kind of smart here. I'm going to become one of those Harvard people. Alright. One form of intimacy is cognitive or intellectual intimacy, where two people exchange thoughts, share ideas, and enjoy similarities and differences between their opinions, which is what I was saying. You need to be connected with the person that you're with. If you can do this in an open and comfortable way, then can become quite intimate in an intellectual area, meaning you'll feel heavily, you'll in a way you'll kind of feel love, you'll feel a greater sense for that person, you'll feel a greater like. A second form of intimacy is experimental intimacy or intimacy activity. Examples of this would be where people get together to actively involve themselves with each other, probably saying very little to each other, not sharing any thoughts or many feelings, but being involved in mutual activities with one another. And that's what most kids and people today call that's what most people call friends with benefits. See, it's not a real relationship. It's just people that are afraid of being intimate with somebody that they think they might love, and going up and messing a friendship or a best friendship by being intimate with that person, but still being friends. And that, to me, is very, 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 very wrong. Very wrong indeed. And I wouldn't, honestly, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to look at myself or that person, because I'd feel dirty. Imagine observing two house painters whose brushstrokes seem to be playing out a duet on the side of the house. It's pretty odd. But they may be shocked to think that they were engaged in intimate activity with each other. However, from an experimental point, they were being very intimately involved. A third form of intimacy is emotional intimacy, where two persons can comfortably share their feelings with each other, or when they emphasize with the feelings of another person, really try to understand and try to be aware of the other person's emotional side. Meaning they won't put that person down if they see that they're struggling. They won't make somebody cry. They'll always try and be that person that will make that will make them smile. That will always want to be around when bad times happen and the good times happen. They want to be around them all the time to make them happy. That's the kind of person that I am, or at least that I try to be, because I don't ever want to see anybody cry. I mean, and plus, it's not right to do that. I mean, I kind of call that a bully. I mean, even if it's to somebody you like, it's still wrong. But a fourth form of intimacy is sexual intimacy. This is the stereotypical definition of intimacy that most people are familiar with. However, this form of intimacy includes a broad range of sensuous activity and is much more than just sexual intercourse. It's any form of sensual expression with each other. Therefore, intimacy can be many things for different people at different times. I don't really know. Well, it can be different for many people at many times. I mean, you know, be walking down the hall or something with this person, and you know, how can I make this? You could finish walking somebody to class, and then you have that moment where it's just you hug, and then you like lock lips for like 2 minutes while the teacher's walk. No, all right. Well, you kiss that person for the longest time. That's pretty much sexual, because sexual is pretty much physical. You can't get sexual without being physical unless you're teasing. But anyway, all right. Some barriers to developing and maintaining intimate relationships are communication. I can't stress that enough. You need to communicate. If you do not communicate, then you will get nowhere. You will not be involved in that other person's life. If one person's trying to communicate and the other person's just blowing them off, that is showing that you are not interested in that person. It shows that you don't care. You thought you had something. Like, if you were doing that, it shows that you had something, but then you lost it, and you're just trying to stay in a relationship to make that person happy, or because you don't want to hurt them. But that's not communicating. You're just keeping that inside. Communication, or the lack of communication, would be one of the main barriers in the foundation of an intimate relationship. Another barrier is awareness. It is necessary for a person to be aware of him or herself and to realize what he or she has to share with another person. People who are not aware of themselves frequently are not able to be aware of other people, at least not in terms of the potentially intimate aspect of the other person. You have shyness, reluctant to share oneself, which is pretty much like not communicating. They can keep an intimate, reluctant to share oneself with another person can keep an intimate relationship from developing. And then game playing. People that just play games, they appear intimate, but honestly, they're really not. They could care less. They're just more interested in playing games with that person, messing with that person's heart, messing with their emotions. People just don't understand how damaging that can be. Messing with somebody that can mess up their trust skills, that can mess up future relationships. If they actually feel the way they feel for you and they tell you, if you don't feel that way, don't abuse it. Just tell them straight up, because the longer you wait, the longer you play games, the more it damages that person. It's just not right to mess with somebody, because I mean, somebody could do the same thing to you. You could feel that way, and then they just play games with you over and over again. It's not right, and you will regret it, because I mean, everything bad that you do always ends up coming back and haunting you. It's kind of enough for me, but I'm not saying that I was a game player, but I just did some bad things before knowing this. Alright, I'm going to give you I'm going to give you 2 tips on how to develop intimate relationships. 1 is knowledge. Every intimate relationship does not have to include all the different aspects or types of intimacy that have been mentioned. Many compatible and satisfying intimate relationships can exist in any one of the 4 forms or any combination of those areas. And 2, awareness. Be aware of yourself and start where you are and not try to start some other place. Start where you feel the most comfortable. If you want to get emotionally intimate with that person first, do it, because that'll help you. It'll help build to other things, and you'll get attached the way you feel that you would be able to stay attached and to be able to keep. Plus, you'll feel comfortable in doing it. Once comfortable in an intimate relationship on that basis, then other intimate areas can be approached and developed. And that is a very big thing, because then you won't have anything else to really work on. I need to hurry this up. Alright, and now, I gave you the spill on intimacy first, which I kind of shouldn't have done, but now I'm going to talk to you about big one, and this is mainly toward the guys. Basic. Well, some of this is for girls and some of this is for guys. Viewer discretion is advised. Some of this content may be inappropriate for some suitors. Okay, so basic hygiene. Guys, girls don't like it when excuse me. Girls do not like it when you funky, when you smell like you haven't taken a shower 6 years, and try and get up and try to talk to them. They don't find that attractive. Same for women. If you don't take care of yourself, oh no. If you don't take care of yourself, then, you know, it's kind of disgusting. I mean, if you smelling like the inside of a meat fridge, then you have some problems. Men, it's just basic hygiene. Brush your teeth. Take a shower. Clean everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Girls don't like funky areas. I had a friend that, I mean, he had a cool personality. He was outgoing. He was fun to hang around. The only thing is that he had some stinky shoulders. He didn't wash his shoulders good enough. So I mean, basic hygiene. Wash everywhere. Wash twice if you have to. Make sure that you're clean. Girls will appreciate that. Make sure you take the time to look your best. Shave. Clean your ears out. Make sure you don't walk out and you're ashy. Put some lotion on. Put deodorant on, because you know how you'll be sweating and you'll be stinking, so the deodorant will help you with your scent. It'll help you stay fresh. Wear clean clothes, please. It's really disgusting when you wear dirty stuff for more than, you know, a day. Especially, I mean, I know some guys, they have all this clean stuff, like, over here in their drawers. Yet, after they get out of the shower, since they don't have anything to put on, they just put their dirty underwear on. They just put it back on. Just put it back on. And then they wear it for the rest of the day. Same with shirts. Same, well, I mean, pants are fine, kind of. But it's kind of dingy to wear. But, I mean, underwear, that's... That's disgusting. You don't wear your same underwear. I mean, that's like taking a crap in the toilet, putting your underwear in it, washing your underwear in that, and then drying it and putting it back on and wearing it for another 3 days. That is just like that. It's disgusting. It can cause problems and a major stench. Another thing, your hair. I don't really have that much hair, but you know, your hair, that's another big part. You need to wash your hair. Just wash your hair. Then when you get out of the shower, take the time, put some grease or gel or anything, and then just brush your hair. It only takes 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. It only takes a minute to brush your hair. Going out there looking like a barracuda was crawling on top of your head, that's not okay. You need to brush your hair. Stress teeth. No girl or guy, this goes for both of us, both genders, like that stinky onion breath. No, I don't have onion breath. I brush my teeth. But that is very disgusting. You would be walking up, talking, coming up to somebody that's in a group, or especially if you're inside and you have to get close to talk to them because they can't hear you, and you walk up, hey, after you just been eating some onions, haven't brushed your teeth, you got halitosis or whatever it's called, where your breath stinks, and that's just not attractive. I was at school one day, and this dude had some super bad breath. Smelled like he was eating garlic, onions, bell peppers, jalapenos, and all that stinky crap. And he comes up to me, hey, Keyshawn. I was like, I felt like I wanted to pass out because that's disgusting. I've had girls do that too, and you know, being the kind person I do, I'll come up in there and whisper, your breath stinks. You know, pop out a fresh piece of gum. You know, I usually carry around a pack of mints. You know, so I mean, you just need to be prepared for that. Women or ladies, I'm gonna have to go into the females in my next video. Well, the next part of this video for life management. This is the next video.